the best tortilla recipe. Alright, let's get started with these homemade tortillas. First, grab your bowl and whisk together the flour, baking powder, and salt. Make sure to mix them really well. I like to use a whisk to get everything evenly distributed and break up any little clumps of baking powder that might be hitting in there. Now comes the fun part. We're going to work that softened butter into our flour mixture. Use your fingertips to pinch and rub the butter into the flour until it looks like coarse crumbs. You know what it reminds me of? That perfect sandy texture you get when making pie crust? That's exactly what we're looking for here. Time to bring it all together with our warm water. Pour it in gradually while stirring with a fork or wooden spoon. You'll see the dough starting to come together into a shaggy mass. Keep mixing until there's no dry flour left at the bottom of the bowl. This usually takes about a minute or so. Let's get our hands dirty. Turn that dough onto a lightly floured surface and start kneading. You want to work it just enough to make it smooth and elastic. About 3 to 5 minutes should do it. The dough should feel soft and pliable, kind of like your earlobe when you give it a gentle pinch. Now we're going to portion our dough into EIGHT equal pieces. I like to first form it into a log, cut it in half, then each half in half again, and finally, each piece in half one more time. Give each portion a quick roll between your palms to form nice smooth balls, and then press them down slightly with your palm. Here's where patience comes in handy. We need to let these little guys rest for about 15 to 30 minutes. Cover them with a clean kitchen towel to keep them from drying out. This resting time is super important because it lets the gluten relax, making the dough much easier to roll out later. Grab your rolling pin. It's time to transform these dough balls into tortillas. Working with one at a time, roll each ball into a circle about 8 to 9 inches across. Don't worry if they're not perfectly round. Those slightly irregular shapes actually give them that authentic, homemade charm. Last step, let's cook these beauties. Get your pan nice and hot over medium-high heat. No oil needed. Place a tortilla in the pan and watch for those little bubbles to form on the surface. That's when you know it's ready to flip. Each side needs about 30,045 seconds, and you'll see some nice brown spots developing. That's exactly what we want. By the way, since many of you ask about this non-stick frying pan that I use, after trying several, I found one that really makes a difference. I'll leave a link in the video description in case you're interested. And that's how you make this delicious recipe. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more recipes like this one.